Hey guys, what is going on? TACWolf here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a first impressions on Ghost Recon Wildlands for the PS4, and this is the beta, so it's not like the full game yet, but I'm going to be doing a first impressions on what I think about the game. I'm going to talk about some of the bugs, some of the good stuff, pretty much it guys, and I'll give you guys an overall score of what I thought. Not really like a score, but more like a statement. So, I'm going to start off with the overall statement right now, because I don't want to save this till the end. I want you guys to know what I actually think about the game just straight up. And honestly guys, I think this game is really good. It's fun, it's somewhat realistic in some ways, it's tactical, and I think that just makes the game amazing. Now, I'm a person who's into military shooters and tactical games, and this game is perfect for me. But there are some downsides, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit, because the game is not perfect, and it's not, you know, perfectly realistic. But anyways guys, let's get on to the good things about the game, the pros, because I think that's what's most important. That's what I think you guys would want to hear about first, and then we'll get on to the bad things. There aren't many bad things, but there are two things that are just honestly terrible in the game that I must talk about. So let's start off with the good things. First good thing is graphics, okay? And of course, we've seen this before, but the graphics in this game are just, they're beautiful, okay? They're really nice, and I can't believe I used that word beautiful, because that's what it is. Of course, it does seem like it's a little bit downgraded from what we've seen, you know, in trailers in the past, but the game overall just looks amazing anyways. Like, even if they downgraded it, it still looks amazing, and that's a big plus. Even the landscapes, the roads, just everything looks really good, and that's amazing about the game. Another thing is that the game runs smoothly. So far while playing this beta, I've played it for 2 days, and I didn't really see any flaws in it. I didn't see any FPS drops, I didn't see any lag, any disconnections, nothing. It runs perfectly, and I don't know if it's because it's just a beta and there's really not much to it, but usually betas and like alphas and stuff like that, they always run like crap. But this game ran really smooth for me, so that's a big plus. The next thing I want to talk about is obviously something that is like my biggest thing in any shooter, are the weapons. And I'm a gun enthusiast in like real life, so I love guns, and seeing real life weapons in a game, it gets me excited, especially guns that I actually love. And this game's weapons are just, they're amazing. Okay, we've got one of the most popular firearms in the game across the world, and we've also got some extra ones from future soldiers, such as the Goblin. That's the first gun you start with. It's like an AR-15 platformed rifle, and it's really good. But the Goblin is your main starting weapon, and it's actually an insanely strong weapon. Another thing about the weapons is that it's got amazing customization. As you guys would know or would expect from Ghost Recon, they've got the new gunsmith going on, with same like future soldiers, where you can like pull apart the whole entire weapon and then customize it to your liking. That's exactly what is back in Wildlands, and it even got better, so it's really good. That's an amazing feature, so highly love the customization in this game. It's also realistic in a lot of ways, because obviously you're customizing certain parts of the gun that you can in real life as well, such as the triggers, the barrels, the mag, just everything on the gun you can think of. Well, not everything you can think of. You can't change a lot of things that I would have thought of, like the rail system and stuff, but honestly it doesn't matter. So the next thing I want to talk about is character customization, which is also very good. It's extremely detailed. It's very realistic. You've got real combat gear and loadouts, real branded ones too. It's just amazing, and you can pretty much, the good thing about this game is that it's realistic in a lot of ways, where you can't just put like pink all over your character, which honestly irritates the shit out of me in every game when they add DLC drops, or supply drops they call it, and it just completely messes up your character. I'm really hoping that this game won't have that, because character customization right now is just, it's amazing, like I said. So another thing I want to talk about, which I thought was actually pretty good, was combat situations. And they're not perfect, but they are really good in terms of this game only being in beta. The combat situations could be improved, no doubt, and it should be improved in my opinion, because there are some flaws, but hand-to-hand combat was really good, like when you're either stealth killing someone or just, you know, straight up going running at them as they see you. It's really good. And then the gunplay in general is also pretty good, except I don't know, the crosshairs of the weapons seem to spread a little too much in my opinion. But then the iron sights kick in, which is great. The iron sights, however, that's one thing that I really want to mention. Aiming down your scope or red dot or iron sights, whatever it is, it's a little finicky, especially when you first get into the game and the first thing you do is press L2 and then you just instantly go into your iron sights. It's a very big problem because it doesn't feel right. You know, it feels so weird to just go into your iron sights just like that, and I don't really like that as much. But the good thing is you can actually change that in the options menu, where you can aim down in third person and then press R3 to aim down the sights, which is perfect. Ghost Recon Future Soldiers had as a feature, and it worked very, very well. Next thing I want to talk about quickly is the physics and realism. It's pretty cool how many things you guys can do when you're trying to take over like a certain town or a certain building. It's just amazing. You can kind of use the environment to your advantage. Not really, but it's there. And what I mean by that is you can shoot out lights if you're in like a dark area and there's lights lit up around like streets or something. You can shoot them out. It'll distract enemies. They'll look over there and they'll be like, what the hell's going on? And then you can take them out, which is just amazing. Then we got night vision goggles, which magically just turn on. There's really no animation to it, which I highly recommend there should be, because it would just make the game feel a little bit more realistic. But otherwise, though, the night vision is really good. It does light up the dark areas for you. Movement system in this game is actually it's okay. You've seen it clip over a lot of things, but the movement system is decent enough to really just play around with it and feel that it does feel like you're actually kind of like a soldier. But I don't know, it still needs a lot of work. Let's just put it that way, but it's still a good thing. Another thing I want to mention is user interface. What is it called? Heads up display. That's one thing that is really cool in this game. It's really clean and simple to use. It's something like other games, but a lot of games nowadays have like complicated user interfaces, and it's just a lot of crap on the screen that you don't need. The good thing about Ghost Recon Wildlands is that you can either customize that in the options menu or just leave it as it is, because guys, the user interface is actually pretty good, and so is the HUD, and just everything in the game is really good. The menu system, the options menu, and all that kind of stuff. It's clean and it's simple to use, which is just great. And that's a big thing in games too. A lot of games have that bulky crap on the screen, like writing everywhere. It just ruins the whole entire playing experience. AI in this game are decent, but they're not the greatest. They seem a little stupid once in a while, and then other times they're challenging, and then they go back to being stupid. I don't really know. It's a little weird, but it's whatever. I'm not really going to get into that. Stealth gameplay, guys, and guns blazing is possible in Ghost Recon Wildlands. You do not have to play the game in one certain way. At least not when you're running around in an open world. You can do whatever you want. You can take over territories however you want. You don't have to follow a specific order, which is just great in this game. I love stealth gameplay and I love the realism to that. Alright guys, so let's quickly get into the bad things about the beta. And this is only in the beta so far. And let's start off with the bugs. Okay, the bugs are the most, I guess, non-harmful things in the game that really don't matter as much, because you can ignore them, you can get past them. But some of those bugs being like the AIs can walk through you and through each other, and just it looks weird when they do that. And then the teammates, when they're getting stuck not getting in the car. This happened to me so many times while I was playing. My teammates just don't want to get in the car sometimes. They run to the door, they take at least 2 to 3 seconds to get in, and it's just ridiculous. So definitely something that needs to be fixed. But like, again, it's not really that big of an issue since they teleport into your car. You literally don't even have to wait for them to get in. You can just drive away from them and they teleport in. So it's not a big deal. And then the floating guns when you're driving a certain vehicle, I'll show you guys some gameplay on that on screen. It's not a big issue again, but it's just something that should be fixed in case, okay, it should be fixed. You guys will notice in the gameplay, it's damn obvious that there's a floating gun outside the car. It's like a scar just floating out there, so it's not really that great. Invisible characters, this is another bug that happened to me, where I'm customizing my character's loadout and gear, and I cannot see where my character is. I can equip different things, but I can't see it until I unpause the game, and then I see it on my character, but I cannot see it first before I unpause the game. It's kind of a weird bug, and definitely needs to be fixed because it's annoying. You need to die to actually reset that. Now guys, the worst part about this game is okay, this is really important, okay? The worst things about this game are probably one of the most important things about the game that actually make it feel more alive and better to play. Sadly, it lacks in this area a lot. So the first thing is driving. Oh my gosh guys, I cannot tell you how bad driving is. Helicopters and planes are fine, like they feel okay, but again, they're just real crap. I mean, driving a car in this game is so arcadey and fake that it ruins the experience of that military tactical shooter I was talking about. It's fine to, you know, steal cars and whatever. It kind of feels like GTA when you do that. I don't really mind that, but the fact that when you're driving it, it feels like shit. It feels like, guys, I can't even explain it to you. It's so scrappy. It's so finicky and garbage. I can't understand why they would do this. The driving has no effort. It's like driving cars in Saints Row. If you guys have played Saints Row the 3rd or the 4th or whatever installment, driving in every one of those games sucked ass. It was terrible. And for an open world game, driving should be flawless. Just like GTA, just like really any game. Even Far Cry has better driving than this. Now, another terrible thing about this game, guys, is sound effects. I cannot stress enough how bad the sounds are in this game. Not every sound, like the sound of your goblin, it sounds good, suppressed and not suppressed, and your sniper and all that kind of stuff. They sound, you know, they sound okay, but the miniguns mounted on top of vehicles just sound like shit. They sound like pellet guns. It's so annoying. And then the explosions are extremely quiet, meaning when an explosion goes off, it's like you can't even hear it most of the time. It's so weird how it goes off. And in some ways I understand that. When an explosion goes off in real life, like, your ears are going to be ringing. It's going to be loud as shit. I understand that. But the game doesn't even have that feature. It's weird. You know, things just explode and that's it. Like, it doesn't put you into the game. I don't know how to say this, guys, but it's just not really that good. Sounds are definitely broken in this game. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for this video and first impressions. Well, like I said in the start of the video, the game is very good overall, especially if you're into military or tactical shooters. It's really good. And even if you're like a GTA player, you can literally have fun like that in this game too. It really depends on what your playstyle is. Most people, I think, would enjoy this game that are just trying to have some fun. And, you know, even military guys. It's just, it would be fun to play. This video was all my first impressions and my opinions, you know. I'm not, well, I guess I kind of am biased, but, you know, it's just my opinion. I enjoyed the game, you know, it's just straight up my thoughts on it. I don't usually do these types of videos at all, but Ghost Recon Wildlands was a surprising game that I waited for a very, very long time, and finally I got to play it and I really enjoyed it. So I'm surprised with how it came out. I didn't expect so many bugs with it, but the game is still overall really good. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.
Tango down.
alert.